What if dinosaurs never went extinct? Dinosaurs were some of the most impressive creatures to ever live on Earth. Some were massive, like the 26th and Argentinosaurus, while others were tiny like the hummingbird-sized mike. Despite their many forms and functions, all dinosaurs are now extinct. However, what if they never were? How would the world be different today if the asteroid that wiped them out missed the Earth? Let's find out in today's episode of What If? A world without the asteroid impact. The late Cretaceous period was the last chapter in the long history of the dinosaur. Beginning about 72 million years ago, it lasted until the mass extinction event that killed off not only all dinosaur species, but also many other groups of animals and plants. This event is often referred to as the Cretaceous Paleogene or CAPG event. Its main cause was the impact of a large asteroid or comet with the Earth. So without this asteroid, the late Cretaceous would still be going on today. And during this time, new species of dinosaur would have continued to evolve. Scientists think that birds evolved from small feathered dinosaurs known as. During the late Cretaceous, the ancestors of modern birds were likely small, flightless creatures. But over time they probably developed feathers for warmth and eventually evolved into the first true flying birds. Without the asteroid impact, which scientists believe may have caused the evolution of birds by wiping out many competing species, birds wouldn't exist today. This means no tweeting, no eggs, no chicken nuggets, and no watching birds on YouTube videos. That's just a few reasons why we definitely want the asteroid to miss the Earth. Birds aren't the only descendants of dinosaurs that would still be around today. Many paleontologists believe that crocodiles are also related to dinosaurs, specifically to a group called Archosaurs were a diverse group of reptiles that lived during the Mesozoic era, which is the same era where the dinosaurs lived. Crocodiles today are part of the order Crocodilia, which includes alligators, caiman. The earliest crocodiles appeared in the fossil record during the Triassic period, which is the first part of the Mesozoic era, and since then, they have changed very little. While other archosaurs, like dinosaurs, became extinct, crocodiles survived and continued to thrive. So if the asteroid missed the Earth, crocodiles would still be around today. It might seem like a boring reality without the thrill of a T-Rex attack, but at least there would still be plenty of fishing to do. Or maybe it wouldn't be so peaceful after all. Crocodiles aren't the only dangerous animals that would still be around today. In fact, the asteroid impact may have been a blessing for future civilizations in terms of avoiding being eaten by giant insects. During the Permian period, which came before the insects were relatively small because their size was limited by the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere. However, during the Triassic, something remarkable happened. Insects began to grow larger, reaching sizes previously thought possible only for dinosaurs. Their greatest achievement was during the Cretaceous. By the end of this period, there were more than 500 giant insect species. One of the largest was the 17-inch-long Titan. This monster was an ant-like insect that could have easily crushed a human finger between its mandibles. There were also giant dragonflies and even bigger termites. While it's fun to imagine humans battling giant insects, this would have been a nightmare for early civilizations who didn't have the technology to fight back. Fortunately for us, the asteroid impact would have saved humanity from this terrible fate. So perhaps the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs actually helped set humanity up for success. But not everyone would benefit from the dinosaurs sticking around. Humans wouldn't be at the top as mentioned. The asteroid impact may have given rise to birds and may have saved us from giant insects. But it also helped set the stage for the rise of mammals. Mammals first appeared during the Triassic period, but they remained small during the age of the dinosaurs. This was partly because they had to compete with dinosaurs for food, but once the dinosaurs went extinct, mammals were able to diversify and grow much larger. The Cenozoic era, which started after the asteroid impact, is often called the Age of Mammals. During this time, mammals quickly filled many ecological niches that were left vacant after the dinosaurs died out. The ancestors of primates, the group that includes lemurs, apes, and monkeys, were mostly small during the Cretaceous. However, one genus of primate that thrived was the Plesiosaurs. These mammals lived in North America, Europe, and Asia, and were well adapted to life among the trees. They had grasping hands and feet, large brains, and good eyesight. But while they were successful, their time would have been even better in a world without the asteroid. One of the main reasons the Plesiosaurs flourished was because of the abundance of food. With the Cretaceous Paleogene event, their food sources disappeared along with many of their predators. As a result, the Plesiosaurs went extinct, leaving their potential descendants, including our own ancestors, free to become the dominant primates. So while we wouldn't exist today if the asteroid hadn't hit the Earth, it did play a role in setting the stage for our emergence as the dominant species. Life without competition. Not only would humans likely be different if the asteroid never hit, but so would many other species still alive today. For example, giraffes wouldn't be so tall. While it may seem hard to imagine giraffes any taller than they are today, they actually owe their extreme height to the extinction of the dinosaurs. Before the late Cretaceous, the ancestors of giraffes were short-necked mammals that lived in herds. With the elimination of their main predator, the Giganotosaurus, they were free to browse high in the trees, eventually developing long necks to reach the juiciest leaves. Similarly, mammals that lived in Africa would not be so diverse if the dinosaurs were still around. In the early Eocene epoch, about 55 million years ago, the ancestors of modern apes migrated to Africa from Eurasia. At this time, the forests of Africa were dominated by dinosaur descendants, such as ornithomimids, which were large, fast-running apes. These animals occupied many ecological niches, preventing the ancestors of apes from becoming established. However, with the dinosaurs gone, these African forests became dominated by mammals. Over time, this led to the emergence of many iconic species, including the great apes, elephants, and many more. So while it's interesting to speculate what would happen to humans in a world full of dinosaurs, it's also important to remember that other species would be affected just as much. More than just a dinosaur world. In conclusion, a world where dinosaurs never went extinct would be a very different place than the one we live in today. From the smallest insects to the largest mammals, the asteroid impact had profound effects on the evolution of life on Earth. While it's fun to imagine a world where we share the planet with gigantic reptiles, it's also important to remember the devastating impact this event had on countless other species. In fact, it's estimated that 75% of all species were lost during this time, including many groups of animals and plants that had been around for millions of years. So while the extinction of the dinosaurs allowed for the rise of mammals and ultimately paved the way for the emergence of humans, it's crucial to remember the ripple effects it had on countless other forms of life. So what do you think? Would you want to live in a world with dinosaurs? Let us know your thoughts. And as always, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes.